Yeah, I remember a story you've told about how you had to, Salesforce, which is at One Market Street in San Francisco. You actually went and used to camp out at the Starbucks over there and wait for the senior executives, and including Mark Benioff, the CEO. You met them there and developed relationships, and that led to you becoming acquired, and then the VP of product way back in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a true story. And in fact, I remembered readings about Steve Case and how he built AOL. And I remember he was trying to get a deal done with Microsoft. And he talked about that he would just go hang out on campus and bump into people. And just by being there geographically, he was able to meet all the senior executives and build a relationship. So that story always stuck with me. I was living in Palo Alto actually at the time, which some of the listeners will know is about an hour from San Francisco. So it wasn't like I was going to bump into Salesforce people. And we wanted to have them both as a customer, but also to integrate our product. They didn't, we have like, I was building what now is Dropbox, and everyone's become used to that, or Box.net, or I guess it's just called Box now. But a content management system, and Salesforce didn't have one, and we wanted them to integrate our product. And I would send an email and we'd get a response 3 days later. And they were nice, they would take meetings, but it just all was moving too slowly. So actually in their lobby was a small Starbucks. It wasn't even a separate building. It was just like a kiosk. And all the employees of Salesforce went there. It was a small company back then, like 2,000 people. But all the senior execs came down every day. So I literally sat in the lobby, would get out a cup of coffee, open my laptop, would bump into these people that weren't responding to my email. They say, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I would say, "I'm here for meetings," which was true. I just didn't have those meetings scheduled, and they hadn't been agreed yet by Salesforce employees. But so I was here for meetings, and then invariably they would say, "Oh, well, why don't you come up and let's catch up?" And then once I was up there, I would just walk the halls and say hello to everyone. And that mentality has served me well in life.
Do you feel this pattern of behavior where you're hustling, it's unique to California, or more I guess suited to California or American culture? Do you think this could fly in Europe, in Asia, in India? Do you see anything unique there, or it's applicable to everyone trying to do this?
Having lived and worked all over the world, naturally I'm attuned to the fact that cultures are different everywhere. My father also wasn't from the US, he was from South America. So I grew up in a household, aware of different cultures. For example, in Italy, they're very social creatures. And if you as an American come in and just immediately want to talk business, you're not going to resonate with them at all. They want to take you for a cup of coffee and see what you're made of. There are certain cultures even within the US, sadly, I try to explain this to my wife a lot. There's even a drinking culture or subculture amongst men, to go out for whiskey and see what you're made of or whatever. And so I become hyper attuned to all of that. But I think, there's a famous saying, I don't remember who said it, honestly, which is, 90% of life is just showing up. And if I could say it that way, it's, so many people, even who pitch me to raise money, we have one meeting and then I never hear from them again. And I know they're sitting around waiting for me to respond, but sometimes I just wait to see if they do, if they're persistent. I call it polite persistence. But turning up matters. And so there's maybe different cultures about how you go about doing that are different by regions. But honestly, I did it in Japan as well. It's how I moved, I think the story. It's how I moved to Japan. I just showed up when I wasn't invited, and I wasn't going to sit around and wait to be invited. I just turned up.